how do you explain this?
Well, if you look specifically...
Hold it. Hi, I'm Rebekah, and I work as a ghost tour guide in one of the most haunted cities in the southern United States, Wilmington, North Carolina. Follow along with me. I'm going to show you some of the most haunting photos captured on my ghost tour, and then we're going to go back to those locations during the day to see if we can figure out what went bump in the night. I'm Rebekah.
I'm Jay.
And this is
It
Rebekah
Real
the
and
Ghost
How
Guide.
to Deal.
Welcome everybody to this special crossover episode of Rebekah the Ghost Guide.
And is it real and how to deal? We're going to keep walking on top of each other.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Okay. One of the things that I really want to point out throughout my series is some of the photos that I'm receiving aren't always what we want them to be, right?
Up to snuff.
I want people to know that I'm going about this as a way to hopefully prove videos or photos. However, I also want to take time to really look into photos that can be proven scientifically.
And it's good information for you to be able to put to the test as well. If you get a good photo or a good video, you can use these things to be able to say, oh, no, it's not real.
Exactly, and that is exactly what we do on Is It Real and How to Deal. But today, I've got a photo for you, and this photo caused quite a stir when I originally posted it on TikTok, because a lot of people were going back and forth on, was it real? Was it not real? How? Why not? All of that, all right? So the location is the Carolina Apartments. It is a favorite location on our ghost tour. It was completed back in 1903. Almost every floor has its own story. Yeah. The most famous story is Claude Howell, who lives on the 5th floor and is oftentimes seen on his balcony, usually not wearing any clothing. Yeah, he was an artist, right? Okay. Other stories include children on the 3rd floor. And this was very popular. They actually filmed the opening scene of The Conjuring, that's with the Annabelle doll, up there on the 3rd floor. And they were having all kinds of weird things happening, including the occasional laugh from a child. And then a bit darker, a shadow figure has been seen around the complex. And this shadow figure, to sum it up, is up to no good.
Yeah.
So plenty of things to really amp up what this photo could have been. And I think that's why so many people wanted to believe in it. And I'll be honest, I saw it and I was like, whoa! And then Jay saw it and you were like,
no!
In this photo, there's a lot going on, right?
Yeah.
Lots of cool lighting. It looks like spirits are just straight up leaving the building, right?
Yeah. My absolute initial thought is, nope, not real. The way you can typically find a good ghost photo, some really good paranormal photos, iPhones are good with this because of the live photo feature. I don't know what the Android equivalent of that is, so if you know, please let us know in the comments below.
Yes.
The live photo, what it does is it takes, like a half second or a third of a second, something like that. You can hold down the picture to...
It's more like a video
it's more like
made
a
up of frames.
Snippet of video.
Yeah.
So within that, you can go back and look at each individual frame. But what it also does, it eliminates camera shake. The first thing I want to point out in this video, which is the first problem I have with it, ignore all the light trails and just look at the building. See how shaky it is.
It's fuzzy.
Yeah.
And I will say, kind of offering another side of that, so I was actually on this tour where this photo was taken. And on the tour, there were 2 photos. They were back-to-back photos. The first photo was nothing like this. Like, it was clear. You could see the bricks, all right?
Yep.
There was no lighting like this, all right? And then the immediate second photo looked like this.
Right.
And this woman, and granted, human error, I get it. This woman swore up and down. She said, I did not move my phone. I didn't move it. It was not shaky. What would you say to that?
I say too bad, because that's what happened.
Such shade.
Just to be very blunt about it, whenever you take a photo with a phone, your hand is never as still as you want it to be. Even looking right now, I can see my hand shaking. I don't know the actual term for it, but the micro shakes are something everybody has. It's what happens. If she's holding it like that, let's say you snap a photo, and then as you snap the second one, you're like, okay, we're good. You know? And you let it fall. Or you snap the second one, maybe she's holding it at a weird angle and it shakes a little bit. That's the reason why everything is out of focus. The second thing I really have a problem with is every single one of these light trails, look at its origin point. Not where it's flowing from, but look at its origin point. You can see the door very clearly in this photo. Having been there myself, there's a light right over that door. One of the heaviest light trails starts where that light is, and then it travels up. The same with things in people's room. There's a TV there, there's a lamp there, there's a light there. All of them have that same starting point. And most importantly, every light trail in this photo follows the exact same path, which is another indication of movement.
So if you were saying, if the lights, for example, moved in different paths.
If the lights moved in different paths, if there was absolutely no fade in, most importantly, when you look for photos like this that are real, what you notice is there aren't just moving lights, there are orbs as well, stationary orbs. If we're gonna tie in is it real and how to deal rules into this, I'm giving it a 95-5 ratio that it's not paranormal in any way.
We've gotten better at math.
We've gotten better at math, slowly but surely.
Supposedly.
As much as I want it to be real, because this would be a lot of phenomenon, in a building that we know for a fact is actively haunted, it'd be great, but it's just not.
How could you replicate this photo?
Easy.
Yeah, if you were actually going to go out there and say, I'm going to catch a haunted photo, how would you replicate it?
What the difference is between still, the slightest shake, and serious shake is. And if I were to take a photo like this, I know that if I take a photo like this, it's going to be a little bit more shaky in my hand than if I have a better grip and take it like that. And then I can see it right now.
Caroline Apartments is at one of the highest elevations in the city of Wilmington, which is a stunning 43 feet above sea level. However, that being said, we're walking up the hill. Usually Caroline Apartments is one of the last stops on our tour. That's the farthest we go up. It's about 5 blocks walking.
So that's an hour and a half of walking in the first place.
Not entirely walking. We do stop to tell stories and
people
stuff.
People are tired.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. And sometimes they're hungry too. Sometimes they don't eat before the tour. They might be tired. So that's another way that, you know, her phone may have been shaking. She may have not recognized it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If it were real, how would you deal?
Ooh.
With lights.
Yeah, right. With lights. If it were real, I'd say there's a lot of movers. Or that building is surrounded, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The thing that would give me pause, though, is that all of the reports that we not only have seen and read, but know about through personal experience, happen inside the building.
I've got a story for you.
Ooh.
This is dealing with ghosts on the outside of the building.
Okay.
These are photos that I will be going through a little bit later, photos that cannot be so easily described. One of the photos I have, it looks like there's kind of a shadowy figure looking down from the stairwell. I know you also caught thermal.
I caught thermal, but that was on the balconies.
That was cool.
And that's the thing. If I caught thermal specifically moving on the balcony.
There's a paranormal investigator on the tour. He had a spirit box hooked up to earphones, which good.
They're real loud.
Yeah. He said that as soon as I mentioned the children, he actually heard a little voice next to him say, "Hi."
The kids are mischievous, but
they're
the kids
just
are
around.
nice. Yeah, they're just hanging.
They're just.
You can feel tugs a lot, tugs on your clothing.
The strange thing is, we don't know why the kids are there. Could be part of the graveyard, potentially. That building sits on what used to be the graveyard.
Yeah, the part of St. James graveyard that's actually showing is only a third of it.
Yep. I think we've debunked this photo.
Yeah.
I hope you have enjoyed this special crossover episode. Thank you so much for following again for Rebekah the Ghost Guide, and I will be back next week every Thursday at 4 with more ghostly goodness. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to follow along for more, please consider subscribing down below. I've got a lot of really cool content that's about to come out, not to mention travel content as well. So I'm going to be traveling to some different cities and telling ghost stories from there. Thank you again for following on TikTok, on Instagram, and for emailing me stories, personal accounts, and photos and videos. I love seeing what you have to share with me. Thank you so much. And lastly, if you would consider contributing to me making these videos, each one takes about 10 hours for me to do, and this is on top of all of my day jobs. Anything that you can contribute means less day job for me and more videos for you. Thank you so much.